Obvious to you, sure, Apollo agreed. But what if I told you that little prophetic nugget was delivered more than 1,000 years ago? I had a sudden vision of people back then hearing the words pinochle, ping pong, and dude. Gods only knew what they thought they meant. Food, weapons, clothing. They wouldn't have had a clue. And what did Chiron make about that little bit of a centaur in a wheelchair? The truth struck me like a cold, wet cloth to the face. Unless they were immortal, the people who heard the prophecy died without understanding what it meant. They may have gone crazy, or even perished on quests attempting to decipher its meaning. The thought made me really sad, then super anxious about prophecies that I might utter someday.
Apollo, I whispered, will my words send people on hopeless quests?
Oh, Rachel! Apollo patted my hand comfortingly. Yes.
Well, that's just peachy. I don't mean to sound bitter, but honestly, I was starting to have significant second thoughts about this whole Oracle gig.
Apollo stood up then. You need sleep, he said. But before I go, I have something for you. He pointed to its ceiling. A beam of golden light issued from his fingertip. A moment later, a present clumsily wrapped in gold foil and paper thudded next to me. I found out later that the beam of light almost gave the Stoll brothers a heart attack. Open it. Inside was a rickety-looking, three-legged stool.
Thanks, I said.
It's the original, he told me, from Delphi, well, from the big house attic, more recently, where it languished underneath the posterior of your predecessor for far too long. Understanding dawned on me. This is the tripod of the Delphi, the one the first oracle sat on thousands of years ago.
You're giving it to me?
I could have let you try stealing it, I suppose, Apollo said, scratching his head. But that didn't go well for Hercules when he tried it. He was punished with a year of women's work for that crime. I cocked an eyebrow.
Excuse me? Women's work?
Apollo waved dismissively. Housework, chores, whatever. All that mattered was that for a blowhard like Hercules, washing dishes and sweeping the floors of a well-deserved punch to his ego. He patted the stool lovingly. The butts of many powerful women have rested here.
I'm honored to be adding my derriere to the list.
As the words came out of my mouth, I realized I meant it. For good or bad, I was the new Oracle of Delphi. I celebrated the momentous occasion by throwing up again. Things have been a little quiet around my cave of late, unless you count my recent mural eradication, sofa flipping, curtain shredding tantrum, which I sincerely hope you don't. For some reason, the pilot light of the prophecy has gone out, and Apollo has not been able to reignite it. But don't worry. I predict I'll be spouting green smoke and confusion again by the time you're ready for a quest. And that will be soon. I have a feeling. The Magical Border, brought to you by Pete the Palicos. Tired of living with mortals who smell of BO, cigarettes, cigars, and garlic? Then step through the border and leave the stench behind. Powered by the strongest mist generated, guaranteed to repel even the most determined monsters? Some restrictions apply. While invading armies and giant hostile animated statues, results may vary. And noisiest mortals, this invisible barrier surrounds Camp Half-Blood with the best demigod protection magic can conjure. And that's not all. As an added bonus, inside the borders of camp, you'll be enveloped in a delightful springtime weather all year round. So if you're ready to say goodbye, stink, slush, and certain death, come through the border today.